After an interesting race at Talladega, the series then headed to the Boston Motor Speedway, which saw Bradley Carlisle finally overcome a season's worth of bad luck to get his first Truck Series victory, giving Desert Star Motorsports its first win since its championship-winning season last year. Luke Pellerin led 84 of the 99 laps until a cut tire forced him to come into pit road and fall a lap down, as Pellerin has still yet to find victory lane this season after 3 second-place finishes. Championship contenders Jeremy Baker and Mike Howard did not have the greatest of days. Baker finished 2 laps down in 12th, while Howard finished 1 lap down in 10th, thus further cutting into Baker's points lead, which is now 32 points, with 3 races remaining. Angel Gray finished 4th in the race. However, she is still a whopping 103 points off of Baker. But anyway, enough about last week. Let's move on to today, in which the Elite Series and the Truck Series are at the recently reopened Chicago Motor Speedway in Cicero, Illinois, not to be confused with the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet. The track is a relatively flat oval, little more than a mile in length. Race is 80 laps long, so let us get to it. Boston winner Bradley Carlisle starts on the mile pole with Angel Gray starting on his outside. Lawrence Burr and Gio Arias make up row 2 as they come to the green flag, as Gray has a much better start than Carlisle, but as they go into turn 1, inside is the better line here. As you see, the track is relatively flat, as Carlisle is going to have the better run going into 1, and coming out of 2, Carlisle is going to keep the lead, as Gray and himself start to pull away from the rest of the field already, as Burr battling Arias for 3rd, as they go into turn 3, and out of 4, it looks like Carlisle is going to easily take the first lap, as Carlisle is already pulling away from Gray, as Gray is easily the fastest regular this week. After a top 5 run at Boston, she would easily be a championship contender if it wasn't for the fact that she's had horrible luck this season. She's still over 100 points off of Jeremy Baker, so the good run at Boston she had last week and this run she's having today, it may be too late to save her championship hopes. And speaking of the championship, Jeremy Baker and Mike Howard are way off the pace already, even for the regular standards, as they are running about a second slower than the rest of the regulars. Here's a hint at how slow they're actually running. Philip Borland in the 89 is actually keeping up with them. So a horrible start to this race for the 2 main championship contenders, but this could be big for Angel Gray, as she can make up tremendous ground because of this. First engine failure of the day will occur on lap 9, and it will be the 97 of Izzy Johnson. Yeah, an engine blown up within the first 10 laps. Yeah, nothing new there for FARC, as Johnson is going to pull it onto the inside of the track, as he's actually not going to make it back to pit road, but he's going to be safely out of everybody's way, and caution will not come out. And not too long after that, Dale Clow's going to go a lap down, almost as fast as he usually does, as that truck has a number of issues with it. That truck's been in the wall actually a couple of times already, as Carlisle's going to get around him with ease, and I think he's actually going to hold up Angel Gray a little bit, and that's going to further extend Carlisle's lead. Here is Isabella Messina back in the number 77 truck, making her second start this season after a great run at Lake Afton, at which at the time she proved to be a much better racer than her brother Gabriel Messina, who at the time was still under scrutiny for starting the wreck which injured multiple drivers at the New York Auto Ring just weeks before. But since then I think he's redeemed himself. He won the feature at Lake Afton that same weekend, and he also won one of the 50-50 sprints here earlier today, so I think he's proved himself by now. And here's another hint on how slow Jeremy Baker and Mike Howard really are. They're about to be lapped by leader Bradley Carlisle. Keep in mind this is only lap 14, as they appear to be giving him some issues, as those two are racing each other for position, and being that valuable championship points are on the line. Oh, Philip Borland's blown up right behind this, as Carlisle is eventually going to get around the both of them, as Angel Gray hits the wall back there. But anyway, Philip Borland's going to be the next engine failure of the day, as why didn't he pull into pit road, as he is going to stall right by pit entrance, and that is going to be the first caution of the day. I don't know either. Everybody will come into pit road under this caution. Bradley Carlisle will lead them down pit road. However, it'll be Isabella Messina who beats everybody off of pit. Oh, there's some contact between Angel Gray and the 64 of Lawrence Burr. But anyway, Isabella Messina will beat everybody off the pit road on the count that Bradley Carlisle was the only one who took 4 tires on that pit stop. We're not going to take a look at the contact. Oh, she actually runs into the back of Carlisle as she's leaving her pit stall and gets run into by Burr as she's doing so. As we saw the considerable amount of damage now on the 64 truck as well as the 88 truck. We're going to see how that affects her on this restart. And as the lap trucks come in to make their pit stops, Mike Howard is now going to blow up as his day will now be done, as this could be detrimental to his championship hopes. However, he is lucky that Jeremy Baker is running so slow right now, so the damage shouldn't be too bad. Izzy Messina will lead on the restart as Dale Clow and Jeremy Baker are lapped down, as being that they are way off the pace. Messina's going to quickly get around them as Angel Gray is having trouble keeping up. She has a terrible start as she's actually holding up everybody behind her, as that damage she got on pit road obviously affecting her in some way. As you're going to take another look here. Yeah, Gray is dropping like a rock right now, as she's now holding up Osvaldo Ramirez, who is back in the 63 this week, as well as Richard Scott, as that truck appears to be really hurting right now, as Scott's going to eventually get around her as well as Ramirez. But it appears that bad luck has struck Angel Gray once again. She was in a position to gain tremendous ground in the championship, as she continues to lose even more spots, and this pretty much sums up Angel Gray's entire season, and you cannot help but to feel bad for her. Meanwhile, back up front, Izzy Messina has opened up the gap on the 2 M&J trucks of Ramirez and Burr, as that team has shown numerous times this season that they can contend for the win. Meanwhile, further back, Angel Gray is continuing to lose spots, as she's about to be passed for, I believe, 9th by Stacy St. Martin, as she's now going to be in the 10th position, as she's running lap times 2 seconds slower than her fastest lap. I mean, the difference in how that truck is running after that pit road contact is very obvious. There's going to be a small incident here where Luke Pellerin is going to get in the back of Richard Scott and send him hard into the turn 1 wall, as Scott's going to keep going, and I think maybe Pellerin got the wall a bit as well, but both will continue on without any problem whatsoever. Close call for Dale Clow as he hits the wall coming out of 4, as he almost loses the truck, but he saves it before he hits the inside pit wall, as that's been the norm for Dale Clow today. He's hit the wall a number of times, as he's gonna hit the wall again coming out of 2. Meanwhile, back up front, Osvaldo Ramirez has caught up to Isabella Messina and is about to take the lead from her as they exit turn 2, and Ramirez is going to clear Messina and get the lead. Ramirez also won at Austin earlier in the year. And as if almost on cue, Ramirez's truck is going to have a problem, as he's going to be slow on the track and pull over to the inside and not pull into the pits, and is going to stall on track just like Philip Borland did just past pit entrance, and that is going to be the second caution of the day. However, being that he's right by pit road, he would only lose 1 lap before coming back on track. So Ramirez not out of this just yet. Considering how fast that truck is, he could possibly get his lap back. Under that caution, Patrick Johansson's engine is going to grenade on him. I mean, is it going to be a race weekend where he doesn't blow up? This will now be Johansson's 7th DNF in 10 races, which leads the series. Izzy Messina still leads on the restart. Bradley Carlisle in 2nd, Lawrence Burr in 3rd, as they're going to quickly get around the slow truck of Jeremy Baker. Carlisle's going to clear him as well, but Burr's got some trouble, but he's soon going to get by him as well, as Carlisle's staying right there, and so is Burr, as they're running single file coming out of turn 2, as Messina holds station, as Luke Pellerin now gets around Baker, but eventually Carlisle is going to try to make the move on Messina, but he actually gets into the back of her a little bit. Messina's going to hold the lead for now. Carlisle's actually going to try to make a move on the outside, but that's not going to work as they go into turn 3. As you also see, Luke Pellerin has caught up to Lawrence Burr now. Dylan Andrew and the 29 Spannerhead Racing team are back after a 2-race break. They did not race at Kentucky and Talladega and returned at Boston last week. Currently, Andrew is running in 8th. This is one of his better runs of the season, as he's right behind Vincenzo Focasato, who is running in 7th. There is one thing the leaders have got to take into consideration. Osvaldo Ramirez is on pace with them, despite being a lap down. Ramirez is actually one of the fastest trucks on track, as he's gotten around Bradley Carlisle and is now pressuring Luke Pellerin to get around him. Now a lap truck that's on pace with the leaders can be just as annoying, if not even more annoying, than the lap truck that's off the pace, because he's now interfering with their battle, which is for the lead. Eventually he will get around Paladin, and now is going to start to work on Messina, as he is under her coming into 4, coming out of 4, coming onto the front stretch. He's got the preferred line, but Messina staying with him for now, as Ramirez is going to probably get her going into 1, and it looks like he's going to do that. Ramirez is now back on the lead lap. Now all he needs is a caution, but it wouldn't be over yet. Messina would get another run on Ramirez, and it's going to put him back a lap down. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ramirez is trying to get it on the back of the lead lap, but in the meantime, he's interfering with Messina, which is allowing her competition to catch up to her. As you see, Bradley Carlisle now in second, trying to close in, but he's now going to deal with Luke Pellerin, as Ramirez fighting on the outside, and they're going to be still side by side as they come across the start-finish line. And they will continue to be side by side until they catch up to Jesus Ignacio Chavez III, who's about to be put a lap down, and Ramirez is actually going to be held up by Chavez, allowing Messina and the rest of the leaders to go on by and finally get Ramirez out of their hair. The thing about Chavez holding up Ramirez is that Chavez is in the 11th spot, so this is actually for position between Chavez and Ramirez is going to quickly get around Chavez like he was standing still to take the 11th position. The leaders will then catch up to points leader Jeremy Baker and put him another lap down. Shame with a terrible day he's having, as Messina is actually going to get held up by Baker, and that's going to allow Luke Pellerin to take advantage and take the lead for himself, as Messina is still being held up by Baker before she eventually gets around him, before Bradley Carlisle can get under her. The leaders are then going to finally catch up to Angel Gray to put her a lap down. They also catch up to Dale Clow, however, I lost count on how many laps he's lost already. As Angel Gray, who's had one of the fastest trucks before that first caution, about to go a lap down, and she's not exactly moving out of the way for the leaders, as that's not going to allow, someone's going to have to make a move back there, and Messina's going to be the first one to make that move and get under Pellerin for the lead, as Gray not getting out of the way from anybody. She now moves on to the inside, as she really don't know where she wants to go at this point, as Messina's going to take the lead and get around Gray, but that's going to allow Ramirez to poke his head into this battle yet again. I don't know if you saw Pellerin go around Gray on the outside coming out of 2, as he is now going to try to do the same to Ramirez. However, Ramirez much faster than Gray is, so he's not going to have much luck there. Keep in mind that Ramirez is still a lap down, by the way. Richard Scott is going to get held up by Jesus Ignacio Chavez III, and is actually again to the back of Chavez and send him into the inside wall, and then coming back up to the outside wall before he slides to a stop. No caution, though, for this, as Chavez is going to drive away. However, he's going to bring that truck to pit road. Meanwhile, back up front, Ramirez once again making an attempt to get his lap back as he runs Messina wide, coming out of 4. Messina's going to hook him, as he's going to turn him into the outside wall, and that's going to be the caution. Oh, so maybe Messina did get sick of Ramirez interfering with her as she was in the lead. It's an onboard shot of Messina. This should tell us everything here, as it looks like Ramirez did run the turn wide and hooks himself into Messina, as you can't fault Messina at all on that, as Ramirez was running her wide through the entire turn, almost putting her in the wall, and there's really nothing else Messina to do. And I don't care if you are trying to get your lap back, you do not run the leader wide throughout the turn, almost putting them in the wall. So questionable driving on Ramirez's part. Another interesting thing to point out, as you can see in the shot here, Angel Gray just narrowly avoiding Ramirez. As you see Messina drive away, she's going to lose the lead because of this. As we're going to take a look at Gray's onboard, as she narrowly misses Ramirez's truck. Unfortunately for Gray, she already fell a lap down before that caution came out. Before the caution would have come out a lap or 2 earlier. And as a result of that incident, Luke Pellerin would lead on the restart. Bradley Carlisle in second. Izzy Messina would drop to third, as Pellerin and Carlisle would quickly get around the lap truck of Angel Gray, as Carlisle is looking to get under Pellerin as they go into 1, as Messina now gets around Gray. Carlisle can't exactly make the move on Pellerin just yet, as they line up single file as they go down the backstretch and into turn 3. And as the laps wind down, this is one of the more interesting battles on the racetrack, and this is between Dylan Andrew and Vincenzo Focasato. That is for the 7th position, as this is easily one of Andrew's better runs this season, as he's got a run on Focasato as they exit turn 2, Andrew's got the better line, but I think Focusato may have a faster truck, as Focusato's actually sticking with Andrew. And as they go into turn 1, Andrew's finally gonna have enough speed to get around Focusato and take the 7th position. As you see also, Stacey St. Martin now poking her nose into this battle. And as we reach the closing stages of this race, Luke Pellerin actually extends his lead over Bradley Carlisle and Izzy Messina. As we've touched upon numerous times before, Pellerin has 3 second place finishes this season without a win. He led 84 of 99 laps last week at Boston until a cut tire cost him the win. As he comes across Dale Clow now, but he's going to get by him quickly. Can Pellerin hold on to finally get his first career FARC LoBo Truck Tour victory? That's at this battle now, as Stacey St. Martin now trying to get under Dylan Andrew for 8th. Vincenzo Focusato has gotten back around him for 7th. As you also see Angel Gray in this group as well, who's a lap down. I can't say that enough. Words cannot describe how bad you must feel for Gray, who could have taken full advantage on Jeremy Baker's terrible day and gained tremendous ground in the championship, but like numerous times this season, luck's not on her side. And just as Luke Pellerin's about to come to 2 laps ago, he's going to come across the lap truck of Jesus Ignacio Chavez III, as it looks like Chavez is not getting out of Pellerin's way as they come across the line now, as we now got 2 laps to go, as here comes Bradley Carlisle, as Chavez still not getting out of Pellerin's way, and Carlisle now has a run under Pellerin as they come out of turn 2, as Pellerin still cannot get around Chavez, as Bradley Carlisle now takes the lead with a lap and a half remaining. You gotta be absolutely kidding me right now. Pellerin looked like he had the race all but won, and for the 2nd week in a row, he's going to lose it due to something out of his control, and he shows Chavez his frustrations with him as he just cost Pellerin this race as they take the white flag. And as a result, Bradley Carlisle will remain uncontested for the final lap, and he will make it 2 in a row as he takes the win here at Cicero. Carlisle gets his 2nd career victory from the pole, might I add. There's a reason why that team won the championship last year, and this is why. Isabel Messina finishes in 2nd after leading the most laps, 36 out of the 80, and also got the hard charger bonus. However, being that this is only Messina's 2nd start this season, really doesn't matter much to her. And Luke Pellerin is going to have to play bridesmaid yet again, as he's got to be furious with Chavez for costing him that win, as he has come close so many times this season. Lawrence Burr finishes in 4th. Gio Arias and Richard Scott have quiet runs in 5th and 6th respectively. Vincenzo Focusato is the highest finishing regular in 7th, beating Dylan Andrew and Stacey St. Martin, who finished 8th and 9th. This is Andrew's best finish of this season, and Osvaldo Ramirez rounds out the top 10, 1 lap down. And here are the point standings with only 2 races remaining. Jeremy Baker, despite finishing in 12th, 2 laps down, increases his points lead to 40 points over Mike Howard, who did not finish the race due to a piston failure. Howard's going to have a big weekend at Salem next week if he's going to have a realistic shot at it. Gio Arias remains in 3rd, despite missing 2 races. He's still within a 1 race distance of Baker. Angel Gray remains in 4th, now 101 points behind Jeremy Baker. I mean, it's a shame, really. She could have cut at least 20 points off of that deficit today if it wasn't for that pit road contact, which damaged her truck to the point where it was off the pace, as that incident could have been the final nail in the coffin for Gray's title hopes. Stacey St. Martin still 5th in points, 104 points behind. Richard Scott still in 7th. Remember, he did not race at Boston. Jesus Ignacio Chavez III continues to drop in the standings. Luke Pellerin moves into the top 10 despite missing 3 races, which he's finished in the top 10 in all of them. Plus, he's the only driver to start more than 50% of the races with no DNFs. So it shows you how well Pellerin's run this season. Now if only he can get that win. Now rounding up the top 10 in the standings is still Philip Borland. Of course, ahead of the 2 remaining regulars, Dale Clow and Patrick Johansson, who are 11th and 12th in points. Borland and Johansson, of course, lead the series in DNFs. As Jeremy Baker is now 1 step closer to sealing the 2014 FARC LoBo Truck Tour Championship, as him, along with the rest of the field, get ready for FARC's penultimate weekend at the Salem Speedway in Indiana.